Over the past few years, we've seen the uprise in the tensions between the South African citizens and the illegal immigrants in South Africa. Let us talk about something that is very uncomfortable, but it's important. You see, being legal does not mean you're safe, and being silent does not mean you're protected. So let's talk about what the legal foreigners in South Africa are doing wrong and why it is important for all of us. Over the past few years, South Africa has been a second home for many legal foreigners. I'm talking about the work permit holders, I'm talking about student permit holders, I'm talking about asylum seekers, and all of them, as long as they are legal. They have been using South Africa as a second home, and South Africa has accepted everyone, any foreigner who's legal, was accepted in South Africa to go there and work, study. Some even decided to settle there. But then being legal in South Africa does not mean we lose responsibility. A lot of us, we follow the rules. We try to contribute positively. And above all, we just want a normal life. But there are a few issues, or if I can say there are a few common mistakes that we have now made common. A few issues that we have now made a day-to-day thing that I think is also now affecting us. The first issue is, you see, we are legal in South Africa, but then we use that legal status to then invite our undocumented friends, undocumented brothers, sisters, and people from home. If we want to invite someone from home, it's better we do it the legal way. We make sure they are documented. We make sure they are legal when they cross the borders into South Africa. So now it's us who are legal in South Africa who are then inviting the illegal, the undocumented foreigners to come into South Africa. And then we also protect them. We hide them even from the laws. We tell them how to break the laws in a way that they can never be caught. We teach them where they can find jobs, where they can work illegally. So this is something that we have been doing as the people who are legal in South Africa. And this is now also affecting us. I do understand that when we do these things, we are doing it out of compassion, not because we are intentionally planning to break the law. We look at some of our friends, we look at some of the people back home, and we just feel sorry for them, for the situation that they are in, for the living conditions that they are in. And then we try to help them by bringing them into South Africa. But then when we do that, even though we are doing it with very good intentions, we are just breaking the law by bringing them without proper documentation. This then increases the tensions between the citizens and the foreigners in South Africa. So the issue then stops being a fight against illegal immigrants, and it starts being a fight against all the immigrants in South Africa, whether you are legal or illegal. Because now even those that are legal are now participating in bringing the illegal immigrants into South Africa. Hence, you see most of the citizens are now saying whether you're legal or you're illegal, we no longer want you in South Africa. They are saying everyone needs to go back. Every foreigner needs to go back, because now even those that came legally into South Africa are now bringing people, and they're even protecting them and hiding them. The second issue that I've seen most South Africans complain about. They're saying, you see, when they do their protests outside, they are protesting. At first, they're protesting against the illegal immigrants, right? Like back then, like a few months ago, they were just protesting about illegal immigrants. But then this is something that they noticed, right? They said, since you are legal in South Africa, right, why can't you join us into protesting against illegal immigration? Because now what is going to happen is the illegal immigration is going to worsen the economy of South Africa. And you also live in South Africa. You also make use of the economy of South Africa. So it also affects you. But then when they go out to protest, it seems like those legal foreigners in South Africa seem to not care They say this doesn't affect us. This is not our country. So why should we go and march? But we are staying legally in South Africa. So now when it comes to the protests, they're saying you should also come and join us. We should all be protesting outside. But if you seem like you don't care, if you seem like this is a problem, this is just a concern for the South African citizens, then why are you even staying in South Africa? If you don't care about the economy of South Africa, then you don't need to be in South Africa. So this is actually an outcry. This is actually an opinion that most of the people have. A lot of people think and they say, well, this doesn't really concern me. Or they say, since I'm legal, then I'm safe. And then we decide to stay silent when protests are happening. This silence can create a misunderstanding. And from this misunderstanding, even the citizens will think that we are not standing with them. They think we are not helping with them. But also, I do understand, because you now feel like you're trying to keep the opportunity from your other friends or relatives that are trying to come to South Africa. Because we are thinking, okay, if my friends are trying to come, if my relatives are trying to come to South Africa, and then they see me on the front line saying we do not want illegal immigrants into South Africa, you may think that they will think that you're trying to gatekeep, you're trying to stop them from coming now that you're in South Africa. But then you also need to remind everyone that what we are standing for, what we are standing against is illegal immigration. And if we are standing against illegal immigration, it will also help us, the legal immigrants in South Africa. It will also help us, because now what's happening is that most of these protests, it started as protests that were against illegal immigrants. But now that doesn't really matter. As long as you're a foreigner, they want you out. Because now, because you're not helping in their fight, you are saying, well, as long as I'm in South Africa, I'm legal. But when it comes to fighting for the economy, when it comes to fighting for better living conditions, count me out. And this is a frustration that most of them have. The third mistake that I think we are making is that we have a lot of individual thinking. We are just thinking of ourselves. We do not consider our other legal brothers or illegal brothers who are in South Africa. So most of the time, as I mentioned earlier, is we just think, as long as this thing does not affect me, as long as I do have my legal status, then I'm safe, then I'm protected, and nothing can get to me. But then this is also a challenge, because when the systems fail, our legal status doesn't really matter. What people will start looking at first is that we are foreigners. And when people now say every foreigner must go, it doesn't really matter whether we are legal or illegal. They just want everyone out. So we need to think not just about ourselves, but to think that we are also representing a community. We are also representing where we came from, right? And we also need to make sure that we uphold the law. We need to make sure that we are not breaking the laws. We are not involved in criminal activities, but we're just positive, and we are actually helping the economy of South Africa, since we are actually living in South Africa. So basically what I'm trying to say is, even when we notice that we have some of our brothers and sisters who are out there involved in criminal activities, it is our duty to try to bring them back into the right path. It is our duty to try to help them. If you see that we have brothers and sisters who are doing something that can be deemed as, undermining the laws of South Africa, it is our duty as the legal immigrants in South Africa to help them, to bring them back into the correct path, because at the end of the day, they will create chaos. And when chaos is created, it doesn't really matter whether it was created by a legal or an illegal foreigner. As long as it's a foreigner, that is the end of it. It will affect every foreigner, and it will tarnish the reputation of every foreigner. So the reputation that you are working to keep, the reputation that you are working to build, can be utterly destroyed by other people who are not legal in South Africa. So it is our duty stop this individual thinking of just thinking about ourselves, but also thinking about others. If we don't abide by the laws, and if we make bad reputation, what will happen is we'll close the opportunities for those who may try to travel into South Africa in future. So I know migration will always happen. People are always moving around. And I don't think we will get to a situation where every foreigner is chased out of South Africa. I don't think we'll get to a situation where South Africa will just have South Africans and no foreigners in there, right? But then we can try to make it better for ourselves to loosen up the situation, because as it stands, where things are going, it does not look good. So what I'm saying is, as the legal foreigners in South Africa, we are there. Let us make it our responsibility to make sure that our small communities, our small foreign communities in South Africa, we're just living in the right way. We're abiding by the laws, and we're not inviting or harboring illegal immigrants, because this will also affect each and every one of us. So it's something that we can think about. It's something that we can discuss, and then we can have a way forward. But until next time, guys, please don't forget to like my video. Don't forget to subscribe, share. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.